May I invite Shivani? Come, Shivani.
Thank you. I hope she said nice things. Did she say nice things about me?
More or less.
Yeah, well, I am in camouflage. I think I'm a tramp at heart. There's my mother staring at me from the wall. I think she's going to say, go and do your hair up properly. First of all, I want to say that my calling is not of a princess, it's of a writer.
Am sunat la un moment dat la o televiziune și am spus să vină o prințesă indiană care se întâmplă să fie și o foarte mare scriitoare. Și mi s-a spus, în momentul când am spus că este și o foarte mare scriitoare, nu facem știri culturale. Mi-a părut rău că am adăugat, ar fi trebuit să rămână acolo. Este o prințesă, o nepoată de Raja care vine în România. How much of this, of your family, of your life story, of your past, of the past of your family comes in the book? Because for a long time you said nothing is there is fiction. Is it true?
This is a fiction novel, and I have written a murder mystery. So it has, people have asked me whether this is autobiographical. I said no, my grandfather was not murdered, and there were no suspects lined up, so neatly, and there was not such a neat little, plot unfolding. No, this is definitely not real. Yes, I mean my experiences may be real, but the book is fiction. And I have reached a stage now when I know that there is no difference between reality and fiction. I mean, there is no such thing as fiction. And the world of your imagination, it may be an invisible world, but it is a very, very real world. The book, it's like a tapestry. It's like the picture finally is an act of creation. It is a real creation of my imagination, but the threads that run through it are real threads. They are threads of experience, they are threads of memory, they are threads of intense pain sometimes, and suffering sometimes, and nostalgia sometimes. And I think one of the reasons I wrote this book and why it is a very real book is that a lot of the rituals and traditions which has been spoken about it has not been documented, and it's an insider's perspective which has not come out in print, so to speak, and in its stark reality. There were books on Indian royalty, but most of the books were, picture postcard books. They were coffee table books, about elephants and jewelry and the Maharaja's court. All that is real. It's not that it's not real, but that's
in your book also.
It's in my book. It's real, but that's not all that it is. Everything is just not a picture postcard. There is an underside to it. There is it has many dimensions. I think the biggest compliment which I ever got, and may her soul rest in peace, but Maharani Gayatri Devi was the late queen of Jaipur, and a reviewer had said that during my book launch in India, she said that this is the book that Maharani Gayatri Devi should have written but didn't have the guts to. But that was my intention, to not make a showcase of royalty, because there's enough of that.
Yeah.
But to also know how you bleed, how you suffer, how you think, your insecurities, your fears. It's not easy. Royalty it's a role that life has put you in, and the most important thing is how do you play that role. And I would have really, really respected a lot of people who are kings and queens today, who could rise above their situation and look at it from a distance and understand it for what it is, rather than be caught up with it, the jewelry and their background, and I'm a king and you're a loyal subject. Yeah. But I think one of the reasons for writing this book was to understand how ordinary people behave in extraordinary situations, and how extraordinary people behave in ordinary situations, which is what really it's about.